On June 6, 2025, NeoWii Studios shadow dropped a new Lies of P DLC like it wasn't one of the best Souls-like experiences out there, and I couldn't be more grateful for that. At first, I thought it would be around 6 to 8 hours long, but I was pleasantly surprised to find it was nearly double that, making it totally worth the $30 price tag on Steam. Lies of P Overture is a prequel to the base game, set in a past version of the city of Krat, just before the puppet frenzy and the petrification disease ran rampant. But before we begin, a quick spoiler warning. If you haven't played the DLC yet, please go do that, it's truly worth it. And if, for some reason, you're unable to play it, you can always watch the full playthrough on my secondary channel. The story begins at the Path of Pilgrim Stargazer, where we summon a beautiful white butterfly that guides us to a mysterious old stargazer nearby. When we interact with it, the stargazer transports us to an unknown snowy area, where we encounter all kinds of strange animals that appear to have been experimented on. Later down the road, we find an advertisement for the Krat Zoo Festival, which immediately raises some red flags, since the zoo was supposedly burned down a long time ago. And yet, a little while later, we arrive at the zoo itself, still standing as if nothing ever happened. That moment solidified the fact that we are indeed in the past, before the puppet frenzy ever began, and it set the tone for the rest of the DLC. Exploring the zoo was an amazing experience. The place is massive and packed with exciting lore and enemies to fight. The brilliance of the developers is already shining through. Designing this area was clearly no easy feat. Entering a room not knowing if you're gonna find an important letter or get jumped by a group of mutated monkeys out of nowhere was actually pretty fun. It kept me on my toes and constantly unsure of what might come next, something that would remain consistent throughout the entire DLC. One important thing we learned at the zoo is the existence of the redhead stalker, later revealed to be Leia, the legendary stalker, who is on a quest to find her missing apprentice, Romeo. From this point on, we follow Leia's trail while uncovering all sorts of secrets about the past, the alchemist's true role in the story and the state of Krat before the fall, all while encountering important lore figures, whether they're friends or foes. The most significant among them is Arlecchino, known in the base game as the King of Riddles, but since we're in the past, we discover his true origin. A murderous puppet resurrected by the alchemist in a horrific experiment after being defeated and left in scraps by the legendary stalker. Arlecchino was the one who kidnapped Romeo, using him as bait to lure out Leia for his revenge. Thankfully, we were there to stop him, in what was undoubtedly one of the best fights in Lies of P, but I'll dive deeper into that in my upcoming Lies of P boss ranking video, so stay tuned for that. Following Arlecchino's defeat, we learned that P was built by Geppetto to replace Carlo, his deceased biological son. This explains why we were experiencing dreams and flashbacks of Carlo's life, and why people who once knew Carlo seem to recognize us as well. In a post-credit scene, we see Geppetto observing Leia as she holds Romeo, who is struggling to breathe, signifying that we ultimately failed to prevent his transformation into the King of Puppets, and that this tragic fate may have always been unchangeable. Shortly after that, we experience what I consider to be the best moment of the DLC, visiting Leia's room. It's a small, humble space with few decorations, except for a beautiful painting of Leia, Romeo, and Carlo playing music together. There, we hear the most heartbreaking recording of Leia speaking about Carlo's death and how deeply it affected her. She wishes she had cherished their time together more and thanks him for saving her. At this point, with the most beautiful music playing softly in the background, I was holding back tears. Even though our efforts may have seemed fruitless at first, the small moments we were able to change made it all worth it. It was an experience I'll never forget, and I truly thank NeoWii Studios for creating such a magnificent game. In a sharp turn, I'd like to shift the focus to the mechanical aspects of the game, where the developers have truly evolved the gameplay. Like I mentioned at the start of the video, the game remains linear, but the level design has improved significantly compared to the base game, offering more shortcuts and better hidden paths to explore. That said, one issue I had was the overwhelming number of enemies in most areas. Their attack patterns can be unpredictable and they hit like a truck, which makes encounters feel frustrating at times. This is especially true for the mini-bosses. Not only they are tough and irritating to deal with, but they also have an absurd amount of HP, making each fight drag on much longer than it should. But with all that being said, the main bosses themselves are nothing short of a work of art. There are a total of 8 bosses, which is an impressive number for a 16-hour-long DLC, and each one is unique and genuinely fun to fight. Their designs are both astonishing and terrifying, ranging from massive, rampaging monsters to more refined, sophisticated enemies that require perfectly timed blocks or you'll end up dead in seconds. You can really feel how much the developers learned from the base game and how they made sure to elevate the quality of boss fights in this DLC. It makes me quite hopeful for the sequel, which they've already confirmed is in development. When it comes to new weapons, I've gotta be honest, I haven't tried most of them since I decided to stick with my trusty scythe and scissors. That said, the new bow has quickly become one of my all-time favorite weapons. It's smooth, elegant, and most importantly, fun as hell to use. What it lacks in damage, it makes up for with range, and I think that was the perfect way to keep it from becoming too overpowered. In terms of music and sound design, this DLC delivers like no other. The music in Lies of P has always been top-notch, so it's no surprise that the developers have once again delivered something truly impressive. I am kind of sad since I have no idea how long must we wait for the sequel, but I'm also really hopeful, as this DLC really highlights NeoWiz's growth as a studio, one capable of crafting a distinctive Souls-like experience that not only respects the genre, but also brings something unique to the table. NeoWiz Studio seems to be heading in the right direction, as the DLC currently holds very positive reviews. While there are a few negative ones, most of them focus on performance issues, which personally I haven't encountered. So to wrap up this video, I really hope we hear more news about the sequel soon, because I truly love this game and can't wait to see it elevate the entire Souls-like genre again. And that's pretty much all I had to say. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, even if it was on the shorter side. Though it is a DLC we're talking about, so there's no point in making it longer than it needs to be. You can expect my boss ranking video to drop soon after this one, along with another video I'm currently working on. I'm always experimenting with new video ideas, so make sure to let me know what you liked or didn't like in the comments below. And of course, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe for more content in the future. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.